how to be the best at something. Most of us get stuck looking at the outside world for validation to almost showcase to us that we are the best at something, or we're looking for proof within ourselves that come from out there to say that we are the best at it. That stuff there, I think, is part of the problem. The solution, and something I learned throughout my careers, both in football, in music, in the coaching space, in all the different things that I do, is what makes someone truly the best is how much difference they make. Who can make the biggest difference? If someone makes a bigger difference than you, typically they'll be referred to as the best. Think about this in your own life. You know, all the teams that you follow, or players or coaches or someone who you aspire to be, they might be the best at this or the best at that. They make the biggest difference to you. They make the biggest difference to the team. The ironic part about this is, are you making that difference to yourself? Most people want to be better versions than what they are, or the best versions of themselves. But are you making a big difference, or are you just focused on becoming this thing that you're not? It's all about the difference. If people could just understand what I'm saying and start applying their craft to the value they're giving others, to the value they're giving themselves, to actually choosing to make the biggest difference, then being the best comes as a byproduct of that. It becomes almost like a default sort of proxy sort of thing, guys. That's something I had to learn, because when it comes to being the best, it's very subjective. Very subjective. And more times than not, you're going to get someone say you're the best and someone not. So it's in my opinion, it's not a strong ambition to have, trying to be the best at something from the lens of someone else. You need to choose to be the best for yourself, and then allow others to have a relationship with what you do. So if you truly do that, and you want to make an impact for yourself and then others and everyone around you, focus on being the biggest difference. Who do you love the most in your life? Is it your parents? Is it your siblings? Is it your partner? Is it a best mate? Whatever it is. They're typically the reason they're called a best mate or called something else is because they make the biggest difference in your life. Are they more loyal than everybody else? Are they more consistent? Are they more trusting? Are they funnier? Are they more entertaining? Whatever it is, they're the best at it because they make the biggest difference between where you are and what you like being, or where you are and where you want to stay. They're the ones that make that happen. So for you, whatever you're doing, whether you're an aspiring sports person, whether you're an aspiring business person, whether you're an aspiring parent, an aspiring entrepreneur, whether you're just trying to be a better version than you were yesterday, flip the script in your mind a little bit and start focusing on where can you make the biggest difference? How can you offer the most value? How can you create the biggest impact? Because only then can you truly judge yourself and say, no, I am the best, if that's what you're going to refer to yourself as, because you make the biggest difference. But that has to be something in your world, because it's self-indulged, that sort of topic. But in regards to being the best or getting the validation or the recognition, you've got to show up consistently, and you have to make the biggest difference, and that's done over time. Take a game of sport. Yes, you can have somebody in a game of basketball that rocks up and shoots 5 threes in the last 2 minutes and wins your game. They may have been the best player on that night because they made the biggest difference, or so it appeared to be the case anyway. But you wouldn't say that person for that game is a better player than someone who has consistently done that for 10 years. Because their difference isn't as big. Their impact isn't as large. So think about that in your life. You know, if you want to truly be the best at something, don't think in that language anymore. Don't think in those terms. It doesn't really work, and it's too self-indulged. Being the best, simply put, is making the biggest difference, all right? And if you can remember that with you moving forward, rather than trying to outcompete everybody else, don't worry about outcompeting. Just focus on what you can control in your world, and being essentially the bridge or the gap between where you are and where you want to be, or between what someone's going through and them not going through it anymore, or between what your wage is now and what you want it to be, or between the type of parent you are and the type of parent you can be. Focus on that gap, because that's the difference. And that's what will make you the best to yourself and to somebody else. It's a very simple reframe that I learnt many years ago, and it's served me very well. And I know it's been helpful to many other people I've been able to share it with. So if you think there's someone out there who's highly competitive, who's always aspiring to be the best at something, and they're trying to you know, grow and evolve, which is very human. It's in all of us. Share the video with them. Pay it forward, you know, because that's what they're here for. They're here for you to grab another perspective, for you to take something with you that can help you in your day or in your life. And I know when it comes to climbing the ladder in a very competitive world, one of the best things we can do is focus on being the difference. That will get us the results that we want and ultimately help everyone work together in a more fluent, cohesive way.